Hey everyone, welcome to the Hocus Poker TCG official YouTube channel. Today this is a part four of my designing card game mechanics series, where I talk about the different design mechanics and philosophies that went into designing the different sins in my game. And if you don't know the sins in my game, there's 7 of them. And the sins, they're basically like the colors in Magic, pretty much. It's like each of the sins like have like their own like basic playstyle. Like slothful is more control, and gluttonous cards are about card advantage. But today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite sins, greedy cards. Man, as with all the other ones, first I'm going to talk about the zodiac symbol. Or like the symbol for greedy cards that's based off the zodiac symbols, which you can find here on all the cards. Yep, right there. So as with the other sins, I picked a zodiac sign and then just altered it to make it kind of fit with like the sin I was going for. This is the zodiac sign for Leo, which is pretty simple. It was just like a circle and then this line here. And what I did, I was like looking at like different alchemical symbols, because I'm a nerd like that. And I found the symbol for gold, the alchemical symbol for gold, is this right here. So yeah, pretty simple. Didn't really. It actually took me a long time to come up with. I had like so many different symbol ideas for greedy. But I'm fine with this. I'm glad I ended up with this. This is fine. But anyway, let's see here. What do we got? We got greedy cards. They are yellow, which was it's that's like the color of gold, and greedy cards are, they want money and stuff. And with that theme, in my game, Hocus Poker, your life total slash what you also use to like play cards with. They're soul coins, basically poker chips, really. It's like when you have a mechanic like that, it's like it would make sense to have like a whole class of card that focuses, like on each of your mechanics. So greedy cards are very heavily based on dealing with effects that can win you soul coins, can win you more from your opponents. That let you like switch around soul coins and whatnot. They let you do a lot of different things regarding soul coins, because that is their main focus. Let's see here. Yeah, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The greedy sin, the sin of greed, probably one of my favorite sins. I think greedy and lustful are my 2 favorite sins. Yeah. So yeah, like a lot of greedy cards. I wanted Hocus Poker to have like a lot of like gambling elements. So like a lot of cards have coin flip effects, which is why Misfortune is a greedy card. And this lady right here, what she does is you can change the result of a coin flip. So if your opponent manages to get off a really crazy effect with a coin flip, they didn't, you can flip her up. Or if you're trying to get off an effect that you really want to go off and you call it wrong, you can flip her up and you got it right. Yeah. Let's see here, yeah. Not really sure what to say, really. It's pretty simple. Greedy cards, they want your opponents to put in as many coins into the pot as possible, because the more coins in the pot, the more coins that you can win, and the closer you can get to winning, right? While also wanting to put the least amount of coins, like from your stash, which is where you keep your soul coins at your stash. They want to keep as many in there as possible, which is why their familiar spirit, the familiar spirit of the greedy cards, his effect is basically you just don't have to pay any soul coins. And if you got onto a winning streak long enough, like with that card, the game's over. Because like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if all your cards are free, it's like your opponent, they can't win anything off of you if you're not betting any coins. But yeah, it's like you have cards like Count Accountant here, which makes your opponents bet whatever you did. And there's a mechanic in Hocus Poker called going all in, which is when you don't have any soul coins in your stash, and when you're all in, you can use whatever cards you want without having to place bets for them, because like everything that you have is in the pot. So in Count Accountant, he has a coin flip effect actually, where it's like normally it makes your opponent bet whatever you bet that round. So like if your opponent's like trying to, this would be a good card to like screw with your opponent. Like if they're trying to like set up some kind of strategy, like if they're like trying to like hold back and like, preserve their resources for like a bigger all-out attack later on. Count Accountant can really mess with that, because he makes all of your opponents bet the same amount that you do. And if you are all in, you can flip a coin. If you call it right, then your opponents also have to go all in. So this card can potentially end the game when he's played, because if all the players are all in, someone's gonna win and someone's gonna lose. You got the Hired Gun, probably one of my favorite. Wait, hold on. Do I have the? Okay, never mind. I actually altered his artwork just a little bit, so that that black background kind of goes around the goes around his smoke there, because it just kind of looks weird like that. But anyway, Hired Gun, one of my favorite cards. His force depends on how much you bet on him. Again, this is one of my favorite cards. And I love this flavor text. Guns don't kill people. Guns kill people. That's the Hired Gun. You got the Grizzled Detective. He's a dirty cop who's also a furry. He's not a bear. He's just a furry. One of my favorite artworks. You got the Loan Shark. Oh, boy. The Loan Shark, he lets you loan coins to your opponent, and if you win the next round, you get to take you get to take 4 times the amount of coins. So like you have the choice to give your opponent 1 coin, and if you win the next round, then you get 4 coins from your opponent. So it's a risk, it's a gamble, and you could just lose more coins like this. The Oil Baron. Again, the oil man. See, this is. I was trying not to make the greedy cards too strong, just because I just really like them. But let's see what we have here. We have the Oil Baron, one of my other favorite artworks I did. He's basically Doug Dimmadome if Doug Dimmadome piloted Gurren Lagann. And if you haven't seen Gurren Lagann, please go see Gurren Lagann. It's a really good anime. But this isn't a sponsored video, so we're going to talk about Hocus Pocus. So, yeah, the Oil Baron. This guy is a robot. You select 1 card in your muck, which is what this game's version of the discard pile is. And then you pick an opponent, and then they have to place that card's bet in the muck. Which, if you have really high cards with a really high bet, say the Oil Baron, it's it's gonna really hurt your opponent. They're gonna want to really win that round, because otherwise, this guy could just totally kill an opponent right out. I might actually need to change that effect to make it a little bit less powerful. But then again, it's you don't get to just take the coins. You still have to win the round, so you can still lose and lose out on the opportunity of having all the coins in the pot from your opponent. We got the switcheroo here. The switcheroo coin flip effect right here. And what the switcheroo does is it lets you switch stashes with an opponent if you call it right. This is another. It's Indiana Jones. If if Indiana Jones was a kangaroo, as you can see here, the switcheroo. So say you only have 2 or 3 coins in your stash and your opponent has the rest. If you call this card's effect, if you call the coin flip right and this card's effect goes off, you just switch those stashes. So now your opponent has 3 coins, and you would have 37 if you're playing with 2 players, because each player has 20 soul coins. So yeah, that'd be again another pretty devastating effect for greedy cards. You get the Leprechaun Man. This card is a bluff card, really, because he has a bet of 7. But when you play him, so like if you play him as a summon, your opponent thinks that they're going to be dealing with a card that has a bet of 7, so they're going to be thinking that it has like a much higher force, like even higher than 1600. So they're probably going to bet. They're probably going to try to like play like a stronger card to deal with that, or like the idea is like they might do that. And then when you flip this guy up, you get to take 6 of those soul coins back. So it's almost like it's only like you bet 1, and like your opponent was ready for a really powerful card but yeah, that is the Leprechaun Man. Get it? He is a con man who dresses as a leprechaun. Really proud of these puns, some of them. Let's see, we got the Gutsy Game Show contestant. With him, you if anyone, I don't know how many anime fans there are watching, but if you haven't seen Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, please go watch it, which is what I base this card's artwork on. But anyway, this is the Gutsy Game Show contestant. He has effect, you can guess an opponent's face down card, and like guess like what the sin is, and if you guess it right, you just take the pot. It's just, yeah. Might need to make this card a little bit stronger, but yeah, you got the Gold Digger. She's the searcher for greedy cards, and unlike the other searcher, she actually has an additional effect where it's like if you flip a coin and call it right, your opponent has to place this card's bet. So it's like if you call the coin flip right, you don't have to pay for this card. Your opponent does, which is fitting because she is the Gold Digger. Yeah. Alright, and the last thing I want to talk about in this video is the greedy card's Familiar Spirit. I kind of already talked about him a bit, but I'm going to talk about him a little bit more here. Alright, so the Familiar Spirit for greedy cards is the Kaiser of Misers. This guy, as you can see, he's like in his artwork, he's got the soul coin symbol, just like all in his background and stuff. Like, he loves money. This guy's a real scumbag. But his effect is at the start of each year round, you flip a coin. If you call it right, you don't have to bet anything to play any cards. You don't have to put any soul coins in the pot. Yeah, so like this could definitely help people out a lot, because you just get a it's just like pure advantage. You just can play whatever cards you want. You can play around your opponent, and you don't have to worry about losing any of your resources, like any of your soul coins, And I felt like, it's like the greedy cards. I actually had a pretty easy time coming up with effects for, particularly this guy, because it's like the Familiar Spirits are cards that stick around. So like, what better effect for greedy cards that don't want to give up any of their money or anything? What better effect for their Familiar Spirit that like really represents the sin? What better effect than to have an effect that could make it so you don't have to pay anything? So yeah, but anyway, that's all for greedy cards. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.